I want to talk about Chanukah. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah, which quotes the Rambam says like this: Kshemalchu malcha risho, when there was the kings of wickedness, Gazru gzeirot al Yisrael, Second Temple, they made decrees on the Jewish people. Ubitlu datam, they canceled their religion. Velo inichu oisom lasot batoil mitzvahs, they didn't leave them alone to toil and toil mitzvahs. But then the Rambam goes into details. Uposhtu yodom b'mamoinom b'vnoiseyem. They put their hands on their money. What a Jewish person does with his money, he's living in chesed, tzedakah. Ub'vnoiseyem, they grab their daughters. We learned in the Masechet Ksubis, every virgin has to live with the egmoin, with the minister first. They entered the temple. They broke the walls. And they impurified the pure oil and animals and meat, whatever was there. The Jewish people had very narrow times. Because of them, they pressed the Jewish people with big pressure. Until Hashem, our God, had mercy on them. We saved them from their hands and rescued them. And the kingdom went back to the Jewish people over 200 years. Okay. So I want to go a little bit about those details that the Rambam brings down, which is all Gemaras and Chazal. And I want to explain what is a common denominator, which I see, that some of it is very hard to understand. And one will start with taking all the daughters, which means they don't allow the virginity, the virgin girls, be married to the Jewish men. They first have to be with the egboy, with the leader, with the general, the Greek general. This is a very wacko and crazy thing. Why do I want to do that? And then it goes on. What does that mean? So they bring down here in the notes. There's a Mishnah in Masechet Midos. Shelifnim Perek Beis Mishnah Gimel. Shelifnim Michoy Masar Habayis Aya Sorag Begova Asorot Tfochim. When you enter the Temple Mount, there was a wall around the Temple Mount. There was an area that people came in, and then they had like a wall. It wasn't a wall, was a weaved wall they could see through. The height was 10 tfachim, about 1.5 meters. Why they had that wall? Lesimon, for a sign. She'ein lanochim likones lefnim imenu. Goyim, Gentiles, cannot enter more than that place. Which means Goyim enter the Temple Mount. They came to Rabbi. A Goy can bring a sacrifice, Korban Nedova, a gift offering. But he has a place where he can't go, where he cannot continue. And what the Yavonim did, the Greeks, Vayavonim potsu po Yud Gimel Protzos. 13 cracks they broke in that wall. Why 13? What is cracking? But what's the goal? Kedei, in order shegam anochi nikosu lamigdosh. Also the goyim, the Gentile, can enter the Beis Hamikdash. I want to explain this. What's going on here? The daughters, when they're virgins, they have to be with the Egwin first. The separation between the Gentiles and the Jews and the Koyanim, there were stages of level of Kedusha. A Goy can enter in a certain place, a Jew can continue on another area, and then you have Kohanim, another area, and you have a Kohen Gadol or Kohanim in certain times, a certain sacrifice can enter. The Eichel and Kodesh Kodoshim, only the high priest and Yom Kippur can enter. There's levels. What bothered them in Beis Hamikdash? It bothered them, they broke, they broke 13 holes in that wall that separates between the Goyim and the Jews, the Gentiles and the Jews. Again, it looks like there's a systematic of oppression, that is systematic oppression, which just not random and wild, like we have Ishmael as a pere, wild, Yad Kolodom boy, just everywhere beats and needs without no system, no thinking. Here, the Greeks, which were big philosophers, they just didn't do things because they did and got angry. It was something deep in their understanding that they were fighting and trying to break from the Jewish people. The Medrash and Eichel brings down that the Greeks had a play. What was the play about? The Medrash Begin and Eichel brings down that had a play. There are three things that the Greeks mainly fought against. Were the Bris Milah, circumcision, Shabbos, keeping Shabbos, and Rosh Chodesh. What bothered the Greeks so much in Bris Milah, circumcision, and Shabbos, and Rosh Chodesh? So the Medrash brings down that the Greeks had theaters, circuses and theaters all around the world. They are the first one that created tarbut. You know the word tarbut? Culture, kultura. The Greek culture. To the level that there are 24 things that a Jew, that when he does it, he has no share in the world to come. One of the 24 things is, if somebody, he pulls his bris. People didn't have operation those days. So how they can reconstruct the bris milah they had from birth from the parents at 8 days old. They pulled the ola, they pulled the foreskin along, a lot of times until the foreskin until the skin of the limb went back and covered the limb, as if they didn't have a bris milah. Till today, the army of the state of Israel, if you are bris milah, you have a score of 97. Your health is considered 97, not 100%. Why? Because every Jew has a bris milah. So you blemished. They looked on the Jews. The Jews look on Gentiles which are not complete. Olah. You have to take off the olah. You have to take off, you have to peel it off till it becomes complete. You have a crown. That's how you say it, and we designate for Hashem the Kedusha and Tahara. We don't just live with anyone, with a wife, and Kedusha, we do Kiddushin. It's a whole Kedusha and Tahara. For them, opposite. They're animals. We are smart animals. Want to enjoy life, these to eat, and vomit. They used to have bathrooms of vomiting and eat again to enjoy the eating. They had bathhouses. So the Jews were ashamed to go to the bathhouses because the Gentiles, the Greeks, used to laugh on the Jews. Hey, you're a Jew. You're a blemished person. You're incomplete. You have 97. Your not IQ, call it whatever it's called. Your score of health is 97. The American army is the same. European armies is the same. If you have a bris milah, you're 97, not 100. They're still stuck with the Greek culture that foreskin, it's part of the creation. And if you cut it off, you're being blemished. But the Jews, the opposite. The Jews looked at a human being, the goal of a human being is to fix ourselves for Kedusha and Tahara. And if you have the foreskin, the Allah, you're more animalistic, you're not complete. When you cut it off and you put a stamp on Hashem and Kedusha and Tahara on yourself, now you're complete. You're a holy man. A holy man is complete, that's the goal. It was a big fight, philosophical fight between the Jews and the Goy. So they made a play. What was the play? The Midrash says, Midrash and Eicha says, they made a play, they showed a Jew preparing for Shabbos. And the Jew was very poor. He had no money, so whatever he had during the week, he saved up to buy a beautiful fish and chicken for Shabbos night. So barely he finds the money and he buys the chicken and the fish, but he has no wood to warm it up and barbecue the fish and the chicken. So he looks around, he finds a little bit of twigs, not enough. So he decides, he honors the Shabbos so much, he's going to break down his bed, because his bed is made out of wood. And he's going to crush down his bed and use the bed L'Shem Shamayim to grill the fish and the chicken for Shabbos night. And he makes a beautiful barbecue for the fish and for the chicken. And he makes soup out of it and he enjoys. And he takes a shower. And he puts some oil on his long hair, curly hair, to be beautiful for Shabbos. Beautiful clothing, goes to daven, he comes back, he eats the fish. But it comes after the fish and the meat and the chicken, he has no bed to sleep. So in those days, the floor of those homes were not made out of stones, it was earth. She has no bed, she sleeps on the earth. And all his curly hair with that oil, wet with oil, got stuck with the earth in the house. And he's all fighting with the earth on his face. And that's where the scene finishes and they laugh, everybody laughs as this Jew, that all the earth is stuck in his hair. This was the scenery. In Medrash Eicha, in our Medrash Rabbi Pashas in Eicha. What is it all about? Why they made such a play? It was a big argument between the philosophers, the Greek philosophers and the Jews and the rabbis. It says, you guys are creating a world that is blemished Jews. You creating a nation that's going to be poor. Because they don't work 6-7 days a week. They work 6 days. 7 to 7 days they rest. If they're going to rest, imagine every week you rest 1 day. How many percent? 7 out of 7, 1 out of 7. What is it, about 14%? Whatever it is. 15% out of the week you're not working. Out of the year, you're going to become poor. So you're creating a society of being poor. Rosh Chodesh is a holiday that we have a feast. Sudas Rosh Chodesh. All those holidays, and you control the time. Because Rosh Chodesh, given by the rabbis, they can do all the holidays through that. So what bothered the Greeks is the holidays, and every week holiday, and the bris milah against the Jews. And the philosophy of the Greek philosophy was totally against the Jews. The Jews represented that the goal of this world is to have a holy Jew. That's what it means, a complete man. Shleimus ha'adam, the completeness of a human being is kedusha and tahara, holiness, control, boundaries. And they believe, no, No boundaries. Women, you see all those who's the idol of the Greeks? If you go now today to the Greeks, and you have goddess of Atin, goddess of Athena, goddess of all those gods, and gods have millions of gods. What is the major god? They have the Olympus, a human being which is totally symmetric, and his muscles are all together, and he's complete. Oh, a complete man. He can enjoy women. He has all those square in his stomach, and he has his muscles together, and he can enjoy life. Complete man. And the Jews represent, what is a complete man? No, you cut the foreskin, you come holy boundaries, you hold yourself back. There's one day a week you don't work. There's holidays for the sanctity of Hashem, spiritual. There's the goal of the world for Hashem. So this was a complete clash, a complete an opposition for the Greeks. It wasn't just another country they conquered. They wanted to destroy the culture of the Jews, what the Jews represented in the world, holiness and kedusha and tahara. So they fought against Bris Milah, against Shabbos, against Rosh Chodesh, to a level that they made scenes they made in the circuses and the theaters. They made a play to laugh on the Jews. Oh, the Jews are stupid. They look, because of that, the guy is going to sleep on the floor. He has no food, and he becomes more poor and poorer. Whatever it is down the drain. With this understanding, I understood what they did. Two more terrible things. Two more very severe, terrible things. Every virgin girl, when she got married, she had to be with the Egmon Tefillah. Because the Jews sanctified the virginity. Holiness, she's going to be only one man. No. We want to grab it from them. You be with the Egmon Tefillah with the Greek general. It was a fight. It was not just an action of humility. It was an action to destroy the Jewish philosophy of understanding what is a completeness of a human being. What is a elevated human being? What's the goal of a human being in the world? Now I understood why they made those brotzos. You making a separation as a Gentile is less in a level of holiness. And you have Solag, you have this wall separating between the Gentiles in the temple and the normal Jews. That cannot be. And that's what it says. They broke that wall. They want to show there's no separation. Okay, you want to serve God? Okay, but don't make separation us and the Jews. There's no difference. We're all the same. I remember many years ago, as a bookman, I went with my uncle. I traveled with a truck from New York all the way to Memphis, Tennessee. And we stopped in Richmond, Virginia, in the city there. And he had a relative there through his wife's family. She was semi-religious Jewish woman. And, how you doing, this and that. And she complained that a daughter's going out with a goy. And she said a statement that shook my heart. Remember till today. She says, you know what? It's not so bad. He's a lawyer. He's a rich guy. He's a nice guy. What? As if we don't marry goyim because they're bad people. And therefore, if she's married a goy, then he's a good guy. He's a rich guy. He has a good job. Okay, he's not so bad. It's not what it's all about. It's not what it's all about. We don't marry goy not because they're bad. They're very good people. They're very nice, kind people. It's not what it's about. They're not in the same level of holiness of Jews. They don't have the Torah mitzvahs being commanded to them. They don't have a Bris Milah. That's what's wrong. What does it do when he's a lawyer and a rich guy and a nice guy? It doesn't do with that. Why is a nice guy? Rabbi, living in a country where the goyim are nice is more dangerous. Because the girl said, what's the difference between him and a Jew? Rabbi, I can find a goy that's even be more nicer to me. And the Jew is tough and hard. And the Jewish boys say, all those Japs, American Jewish princes are very tough to get into, to satisfy them and this and that. I want to have the easy life. I get those goyim, those shiksas, it's easier. But they don't understand what it's all about. They weren't educated properly. What's the difference between Jews and the Greeks and the goyim? We represent holiness. We represent, what do we say? Every mitzvah we say, Baruch atah Hashem, asher kiddushanu, that He sanctified the mitzvah. He sanctified us with His commandments. They don't have commandments. We are sanctified through His commandments. We are holy men. We are holy Jews. We say asher kiddushanu mitzvah etzivanu. He sanctified us by commandments through the rabbis to light the candle. It's sanctity. That's what it's all about. The fight between us and the Greeks was not just an oppression and we won them and we had national freedom. It wasn't a freedom of nationality. It was just a result of that. The real fight was against our Jewish culture, our Jewish belief, our Jewish values. So now in Hanukkah, what do we have to do? We sit and we thank Hashem and we praise Hashem, and we have to rejuvenate, rethink over and value over again. What is that? What is our values? What is our culture? What does it mean, Kedusha? What does it mean, Shmiras HaBris, guarding our bris? What does it mean, guarding our eyes? What does it mean, sanctifying ourselves by doing mitzvahs? What does it mean, learning Torah ba'ameirus HaTorah, that you throw your body and you learn Torah with all your ameirus, all your Torah and Torah, and you sanctify yourself, your whole body becomes a chetz of Kedusha, an object of holiness to Hashem. What does that mean? So now it's a day of vacation, or a day of learning Torah more Torah. More Torah. So I'm in Yeshiva as a vacation for you to see who you are, let's check who you are. Now that there's no teachings, no rabbis, are you going to understand what it's all about and learn more Torah and do more mitzvahs? Tomorrow we have a Hallel. We're going to make a Hallel with music to sing to Hashem. Today we had a Sammy Hallel promo of the Hallel for tomorrow. We have a nice turn up of boys. We need more boys getting up in the morning. And we're going to have a Hallel at 10 o'clock. We're going to eat breakfast after Kiras HaTorah. Then go down 10 o'clock to Asaf Cave, or Eichel David, we call it. And we will go there and have a beautiful musical Hallel from the heart. Everybody's invited. Then we're going to have the battle of the bands. Who's going to win the band? The best band of what? Showing off ego or songs to Hashem? What is it all about? Okay, we put a little bit of flavor of ego and some money and prizes and make a shtick out of it to make it a little bit of happiness. That's not the goal. The goal is words of singing to Hashem and praise to Hashem in a holy way, controlled way. Not singing, you go to bars and drinking, where they use the singing and the drinking to mix men and women. The Goyim of Vilna says, why the Torah always used, the language a language of znus. He says, because they wanted to pull the people to Avodah Zarah, they put znus in. Always you go to Avodah Zarah, you see znus. Many years ago, 30 years ago, or so, I went to India, and I wanted to see this Goyim of Vilna if it really works. And I went to check, and I saw they had a holiday of, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know what is it, coconut holiday. And they believe in the coconut gods, who knows what. They had a big statue, and thousands of them passing by. And I wasn't there. I saw it in the television or something. They showed everywhere, in the bars, everywhere. It was all on this holiday. And you see thousands of tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people passing by, and they're cracking their coconut next to the idol, who knows what. And I'm waiting to see where's the Goyim of Vilna. And suddenly I see on the side, women start to dance. And then men start connecting to them. I saw them